So the next thing is, here's the category called operational. Now, these things are not capital purchases. That means they're usually services, they're usually month to month. And you rarely put things in before you open your doors. There are some exceptions, and we'll get to that. So, this is the section for non GST chargeable. So, management, this is your wages. This is what your business is going to pay you for the operation of doing the business that you have. Your management. It's grayed out because you don't pay yourself a wage before you open your doors. Indirect labor. You rarely pay staff or labor before you open your doors. There are a few caveats to that, which are written in the notes that you get. Some of the caveats are, if I'm opening up a restaurant and I need to train my staff, bring them in a week ahead of time to train them how we do things, I often have to pay for that, their time, because they're employees. So during that time period, and that's technically before I open my doors. So like I said, there are a few caveats, but rarely do those things happen. If you're not paying yourself labor, then you don't have your direct labor and you don't have your benefits to that either. The next one, business license. You absolutely do have to have a business license before you open your doors. And if you go through, depending upon if you're incorporated or you're not incorporated and where you're going to be opening your business, that things could change. So I'm going to put in one of about $495. This could be things for name searches and registration for an incorporation and whatnot. Insurance is another thing. It used to be that you purchased a year's worth of insurance before you needed it. Now, lots of insurance companies are going to a month to month thing. If anything that you're doing is month to month, it does not go here. It does not go on this tab. It goes on a different tab later on coming up. That'll be part of your cash flow. So I'm not going to purchase insurance before I open my doors. Again, bank charges are similar. You don't pay charges. This is not interest. This is your bank before you open your doors, and you certainly don't pay dividends before you open your doors. Again, we have another operational non-GST. This is if you have something really specific in your business that is not covered here, you have the option of sort of naming this category and putting it in. Now we move into the operational GST chargeable. Rent. Again, rarely do you pay this before you open your doors. Again, utilities, telephone, you wouldn't do that. Shop supplies, you probably do need shop supplies before you open your doors, because when you open your doors, you have to be ready to do business. So I'm just going to say, well, I need about $250 of shop supplies. Depending upon your business, this could be bathroom. Well, it could be bathroom tissue. It could be cleaning supplies, toilet paper. If I'm a mechanic, it could be kitty litter that I'm going to use to put on all the oil spills that I have. It could be a big Varsol wash. It could be, WD-40 and Loctite and sort of all that type of stuff. Office supplies is the same. I'm going to need some of those. Office supplies are staples, pens, paper, erasers, whiteout, anything like that that is consumable. So I'm going to put in about 150 there. Meals and entertainment, rarely before I open my doors. Here's a vehicle, but just a minute, we had vehicle farther up. This is the operational side of the vehicle, not the capital purchase. So this would be your gas, oil, tires, all of that stuff. And again, rarely before you open your doors. There could be some cases where that would work, and you could actually put that in here. Travel. So this is kind of confusing for some people because we've got vehicle and we've got travel. Well, travel is if you're going on, I'll give you an example. I used to fly down to Citrix conventions because we're using Citrix here. So every year I would go down to Citrix conventions. It was usually held in Florida. So from the time I got on the plane, we call it tarmac to tarmac, which means your plane, your hotels, your taxis, your meals, anything associated with that trip on that I'm going to go on before I open my doors, that becomes travel. It's usually out of province or certainly a long ways away. So that might go in there. It depends upon your business. Do you need extra training? Do you need to go on a buying trip? Some people don't do that before they open their doors. You're rarely going to be doing any maintenance or repairs, because if you bought something, it's going to be repaired, it's going to be brand new. Promotions, you probably will be spending money on promotions. This could be things like your business cards, maybe some signage, maybe a website. So I'm going to say yes, I've already got some business cards and I spent about $300 on those. I'm going to need a website, I'm going to need some flyers, and I'm going to need a decal for my car. Collectively, all that adds up to about $4,000. Training. Do I need any extra training before I open my doors? If you're opening up a restaurant, does you or your staff need either WHMIS training or food safe training? Just about everybody needs WHMIS training now. Some places offer it for free. Look around. But if you're doing any training before you open your doors, you can put that here. I'm going to say yes, I did some training already, and that was about a $500. I took sort of a quick Photoshop workshop because my strength is in chemistry and I need to upgrade my skills for the digital phenomena that's going on. Professional fees. Your professional fees are typically your lawyer and your accountant. Some people will pay your lawyer and or your accountant to actually register your business. You don't need to do that. You can do that yourself. So I'm going to say no, I don't need that. Memberships. If you're a photographer, are you joining the Saskatchewan Professional Photographers Association or the Professional Photographers of Canada? If I'm a massage therapist, is there an organization that covers me? Is there a professional massage therapists organization of Saskatchewan? This could also be things like Chamber of Commerce, Better Business Bureau, anything like that. Am I going to have memberships? And I'm going to say, yes, I've already got a few of those memberships and I've spent about $300. Miscellaneous, I think it's always a good idea to put in something, because it's something that it's not in a category. It could be parking meters. I had to go to City Hall to register my business license or something like that. Parking meters, coffee, speeding tickets, who knows? It's just a sort of a catch-all, and you're always going to have things like that. You can see what's happening is this is keeping a category, keeping tabs on how much you have spent. So the amounts that I put in are all without GST. This will calculate the GST based upon rules of what gets GST calculated or not. So you can see that collectively I'm already putting in $71,000 of my own money. It's not money as much as value. I've got mostly a lot of photography equipment and whatnot. Because I'm putting that in the company, that is now at risk. What I've got here is the corporate financials. And if my business goes belly up, then I could stand a chance of losing all that equipment. So if the bank calls a loan or something. But this also says that right here, I need $12,000, a little over $12,000 in cash before I open my doors too. This is just the purchasing the other things that I need before I open my doors, not sort of the operational month to month things. So I can tell you right now that in order to open my doors, I need $83,700 worth of stuff, of which I've got $71,300, or almost $400 worth of that. So this is, everybody's going to go through this. I know that if you've got a corporation or a sole proprietor, there's going to be almost the same. These two things are going to be almost identical. And that's it for this category. We'll move on to the next tab.